All right, we're back up. We're back. We're ready to go, man. Let's go. Let's go. I mean, can you slide over a little bit more that way, Rob? To the left.
What's going on? We're back again, yet again today, I should say, and everybody's watching. Everybody's watching. 18 to 80, blind, crippled, crazy. We're the crazy ones. We're all here. We're excited to be here with you. We have a lot of good stuff coming up, Rob. And as you can see, David Feldman joining us as well, BKFC president. Glad to have you on.
There you go, guys. What's going on? You guys have been doing a phenomenal job on this podcast. It's getting better and better every week. Soon you guys might be able to get a contract.
It's like American Idol. We're playing for the contract here. We're playing for the contract. So, Dave, we have you in here for a specific reasoning. There's a lot going on today. Rob's excited about it. We were talking about right before you came in here. Today, we're going to be talking about what happened at Triller last weekend. I mean, Triller was insane. That's why you're going to be here to talk on that a little bit. A lot of people have their thoughts on that. I'm excited to get your thoughts and Rob's thoughts as well. Also, Lorenzo Hunt is going to be joining us ahead of his big fight against Josh Dyer coming up April 30th, BKFC.com. You want to get in, watch that. The Juggernaut is so much fun to have on. And we have a lot of stuff to talk to him about, like pushing cars and
just doing Juggernaut shit.
Yeah, that's right. That's what he does, right? That's how I get the name. And also, David, you're here to announce 3 new additions. This is huge to the women's division. We're excited about that as well. But first things first, before we get into all that, let's get into Triller. I mean, we watched it. I was my phone was blowing up between you and everybody else, Rob, texting every 3 seconds about stuff. I was trying to make love to my beautiful wife, and you're
sorry, man.
And so I had to go and watch Triller after I got done, And
how are you trying to make love to her?
How was I trying? She's still trying to figure it out. She doesn't even know I'm done yet. So Triller, I mean, I have my thoughts. You have your thoughts. I'm sure David does as well. What are your thoughts on Triller, the big Jake Paul thing everyone was talking about?
Where to even begin with that? How to unpack that? So overall was not to my tasting by any stretch of the imagination. So
I can't figure any of this out. Thank you for staying with us. We just had technical difficulties. You'd think we're working for Triller and not BKFC or something. I don't know what's going on here, man. I can't figure it out. So we were talking about Triller. We have a lot of good stuff. I want to remind the audience, we have Lorenzo Hunt, the Juggernaut, coming up later. He's going to be fun. He always is. Awesome. And we have David Sr. here, the president of BKFC. And he's going to be talking about...
Don't say senior.
All right, well...
Makes me feel old.
old. You missed
I think the gray hair makes him feel.
You're a brave guy sitting next to a pro fighter who's going to punch you in the face for saying stuff like that.
Hit me and I'll sue.
Well, we don't need our contracts. Then we'll be rich.
Sue me for what?
Yeah, sue me for what? Blood from a stone, right? Yeah. So a lot of stuff to talk about today. You're going to be talking about the 3 new female signees. That's going to be awesome. I'm excited to hear about that later. But right now we're talking about Triller. Triller. Everyone has their opinions on Triller. We were all watching it. We all saw what happened. I know you have strong opinions. We were getting into that first. The thing I wanted to ask you off the bat, though, I think I read that they projected like 1 million buys. What do you make of that?
I think it's 1.4 is what they
1.4.
What they said. $1.5 million. What the exact dollar figure for the poll.
So let's just say they didn't say that. Jake Paul said that, and Triller never confirmed.
Okay.
Well, Jake Paul saying, I mean, that guy a lot of times.
Industry experts are saying that it was less than half of that projected buys.
Less than half, huh?
Yeah.
So that's how they get away with that. They say projected. It sounds bigger than it is. It's kind of a business thing, I would guess.
Right, but I mean, so absolutely it is. I mean, I know what you're getting to here with the I'm just going to let you finish, and then I'm going to jump in.
Well, too late. You threw me all off. I was talking to Rob about the 1.5 million views or whatever.
1.4, 1.5. Yeah.
And
something like that.
From my experience, I don't know how BKFC works, if we can even speak about this live on the air, but when I did my wrestling stuff, I would always find that the pay-per-view buy rates, they would take a while to come in. We wouldn't find out that fast. You'd have projections. They weren't always
usually
true.
find out. It usually takes us, it takes us 90 days to find out exactly what we did.
So
the digital end of it, you can probably find out fairly quickly. So they're probably taking the digital end and then doing estimates on
projections.
It, which, you know what? I mean, maybe they did. Maybe these industry experts don't know what they're doing, because, I mean, I'll tell you, every time that I went on any type of social media or on YouTube or anything, all I saw was that fight being advertised. So they did hats off to them that way. They did a tremendous job of getting the hype out on it.
Their marketing and their overall, we got to hire those guys.
Before we went off, Rob, yeah, right. It was a spectacle, and I think if they promote it more as a spectacle, I know they were kind of doing that, but really hit you over the head with the spectacle, because I think a lot of people, from what I could see on socials and from the text that everybody was sending in the group text, that people were just tired of seeing Bieber. And Bieber, you do one number and you're out of the way if you're going to have him on. You don't do the whole concert. At least that's my thoughts.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying earlier, that I don't know if that's their audience. You know, it's to be seen, meaning a lot of people were tuning in for Jake Paul. Jake Paul is a YouTuber. Logan Paul is a YouTuber. So they're coming from those platforms. They're coming from that background, as they had, some TikTokers there. They had, obviously Justin Bieber, Snoop Dogg. So they tried to hit a lot of different categories.
Our very own, I saw him on screen, Mystic Zach was there.
Mystic Zach
was hanging out there.
And so was Mr. Wheelock.
Kudos to Sean Wheelock, because the little bit I saw, again, because I was romancing my wife and I saw the end of it, Sean was the most professional announcer on there. We should be proud to have him at BKFC, because that guy, he would bring the professionalism to the audience. Everyone else is saying, "Oh, I'm stoned out of my mind. It's really cool to smoke pot. Let's keep talking about that. It's so cool. We're smoking weed." Sean would just come on and do his job. Kudos to you, Wheelock, man. You're the man.
No, he did great. I mean, Mystic Zach, he did great. He's good friends with the Paul brothers. He did really good too. So, I mean, good exposure for those guys.
I agree.
And a great experience, and hopefully they're going to bring some of that back to us.
No, I agree. And when you look at it, though, I mean, you're looking at the show as a whole, and I asked this question last week: is this Triller Fight Series, Fight Club, is this kind of a trend for half a year, or is this where fighting's going, where you're having YouTubers come on because you're drawing a different audience, and so they don't really care about the fight fans? They probably just think that they're going to tune in because they want to see Jake Paul get hammered. It's pro wrestling 101. Jake Paul's the bad guy, and you want to see him get his mouth shut. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, it's correct to that point. I think I don't know if it has a lasting taste in people's mouth. I think people will tune in to see the fight, to see how the spectacle unfolded, and there were a lot of negative reviews. Everything from Frank Mir was upset the way that Oscar De La Hoya was conducting himself on the commentating. Again, it seemed very disheveled. What they were talking about, the subject matter. Now, that I don't want to take away from some of the bouts were absolutely amazing.
Well, you brought up Frank Mir.
Exactly, man. That fight, I think, solidified the card. Frank looked amazing fighting a world champion in Steve Cunningham. Hats off to him going the distance with him. That's a win in my mind, and I think Frank put that out there, as did his team. I thought that bout was awesome. Jake Paul looked great.
Before we get to Jake Paul, I'm sitting here. We have David Feldman in studio with us, so I'm going to ask you. I was under the impression Frank Mir was under contract with BKFC. Was he able to? How was that? How did that work? Did you guys let him go over there? Or what happened?
Yeah. No, you know, it's an opportunity for him to get a lot of exposure, talk about BKFC, and you know, for himself to make a lot of money. So, you know, we're in this business. We're all in this business. The fighters, especially, are in this business to make money, and he had an opportunity to make a lot more money for them than he was going to make for us. Although we were paying him more than he's made in a long time. Yeah. That you know, they have money they're throwing around over there, and he had a chance to make a nice chunk of change. So you know, we thought it was good for him. He showed up. He fought good, and you know, I'm kind of proud of what he did. Yeah. I think he's going to bring a lot to BKFC now. I mean, right after the fight, what he said in all the interviews was, you know, are you getting back to MMA? And he said, you know, I'm getting prepared for this BKFC fight. So it's going to be interesting to see who we're going to put him in with, which obviously my mind's going, ooh, who we're going to put him in with. And it's going to be a lot of hype there. But let's talk back about the reaction of Triller. I watched the whole show, and so I'm watching from two different angles, really. As a fight fan, I didn't like it at all. It was just too much filler. It was too much in between. The fights were good. The fights that were on there were good. There were good fights on there.
Whoa, good.
Here we go. I knew that was going to set off an alarm. I knew it. I knew
Come on,
Rob
man.
was going to
Ben Askren is the captain of the fucking high dive team.
But wait a second. It doesn't matter, man.
He did look out of shape.
Paul,
dude, he came in. Dude,
I've been in boxing all my life, and the way that Jake Paul flicked that jab out and threw that beautiful straight right hand over top, he deserves kudos. Look, I think people are forgetting that Jake Paul only has 3 fights ever in his life.
True.
3. So they're expecting him to look like a world champion. He's not going to look like a world champion.
I'm not taking anything away from Jake Paul. I seen his training.
Ben Askren, come on, man.
Dude,
he should have been hanging.
That's
from
an
chains.
Embarrassment, man.
He should have been hanging up from chains because he's really a human punching bag.
He really was.
And no, that was an embarrassment, man. I mean, he didn't even look like he trained. Whether you did or didn't, you looked like shit.
The whole build.
You did. I mean, that was the meme going into it.
To elaborate a little more on the show itself, though. So the show itself. So if they're going after, okay, for boxing fans, it probably wasn't too good. For boxers, it was great because it brought a lot of brand new eyeballs to the sport of boxing.
Absolutely.
And that was the smart thing about it. So it brought all the YouTubers over that would never watch boxing in their life. Now they saw these, and now they might tune in again, and it might help the resurgence of boxing itself.
But the question is, if the YouTube fans tune in, right, and they start coming back more and more, that's going to kind of change and shift the sport of boxing a little bit. So is that going to be good or bad for the? I know they're showing up, but the way the shows are produced, that could all change over time if this continues.
I mean, we're going to see the longevity of it. The thing is there was just so much, you know, filler. Like I think too much filler for me. Even, you know, I was falling asleep. Like, wow.
You weren't. I heard you were singing to Bieber the whole time. No, that didn't happen.
Actually, he had a great performance.
And then the audio. I said the audio went out during the national anthem. They should have put the audio out during Bieber for a little bit.
So I had tickets to the fight. I was invited by Peter Kahn to be a VIP there, and I just decided at the last minute not to go because I saw that the view for a lot of the fans was not going to be a good view. So, you know, I just decided to watch it on TV. And it was good. I got to dissect a lot of things that they did. I just, you know, I thought it was a little too much. Like, I think Justin Bieber, right? If everybody tuned in to see Justin Bieber and he was the show before the main event, I think a lot of people would have stayed around and liked it. But, you know, I don't know.
No, I don't. Yeah, I wholeheartedly disagree. I don't know what the hell I was watching. Hey, look, I thought I was tuning in to watch some competitive fights, right? I tune into Justin Bieber, some comedian, dudes getting high. I mean,
it was a circus.
Hey, listen, the Frank Mir was great. Like, I thought that fight was great. I think Jake Paul, he sold it. Jake Paul trained. I think Ben Askren, he should have came in a little bit more competitive. There was another boxing match that I want to get to where it was competitive, and then he got hit with a low blow.
Come on.
A low blow on his
nipple,
on his side, on his oblique. A low blow on his oblique. Didn't even come near it,
and he got taken out on a stretcher. Like that's what I mean. Like what was I? What am I watching? What am I paying for?
They did change that from a technical decision to a TKO.
Did that? Okay.
TKO, which they rightfully should have.
So is this Triller stuff? I mean, you see people online. I'm not saying it was rigged. I would never say that. But do you think this is more kind of like sports entertainment of a sort? Like they're trying to kind of go more toward that way? Because I mean, it seems like the low blow that was BS. You see a lot of stuff that's different than a regular normal boxing show.
Like the commentating from Oscar De La Hoya.
He was. Look, I have a lot of respect for De La Hoya. The guy's done a lot.
The running joke.
I lost every ounce of respect that I had for that man. I couldn't believe the way that he was tearing apart these other professional boxers. That's what really bothered me more than anything. And then kind of disrespecting the United States by the USSR and disrespecting what accomplishments that Steve Cunningham did for the country, not only as being a professional boxing world champion. But go ahead, sorry.
But no, I mean, I think Dana White said it before that Oscar De La Hoya is a cokehead, right? The running joke, I'm not sure if people are in tune to this or not, is because our president got a little heated one time in the ring. Joe Rogan caught wind of it. A couple other high-profile celebrities, combat sports analysis, and the running joke was Dave Feldman was on coke. Well, I don't think there's any argument with Oscar De La Hoya being the king of the coke.
So let's just clear that up. That Dave Feldman never touched cocaine in his entire life. Ever. And although there was a lot of weed smoking at that fight, I smoked weed twice in my life. I've never touched drugs. I just don't do it.
Exclusive.
I don't do it.
Good for you, man.
Just wanted to clear that up for everybody. Look, I'm very passionate about what I do. I love this sport. I love building it. And, sometimes I might do some dumbass shit. And, I did. Knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah.
Acted like a jerk off and did something I shouldn't have done.
I was entertained by it, to be honest with you. I'm the only one that loved it.
and just to clarify my position, that was all, tongue-in-cheek joking. The reality is that Frank Mir put out some, very uncomfortable comments towards Oscar De La Hoya about his addiction and everything. And
I thought he was apologizing. Wasn't he saying? Well,
like, the initial one was, "I hope he gets the help that he needs."
Yes.
And
we have it up there.
Yep.
See, I thought that was what a man for Frank Mir to come out and make that.
The way he did it was perfect. He didn't come out there and trash De La Hoya. And I mean, he did in a very respectable way. And this is the truth, though. I mean, look, he obviously has some kind of problem to get on worldwide television like that and act like such a fool.
I feel here's the thing. A lot of people were angry about it and all. I actually took the other way. I feel bad for Oscar De La Hoya. Here's a guy that has this legacy, and now he may or may not, allegedly, I'm going to say, have demons going on there, and he comes on and does that. So I kind of felt bad for him, and I hope that he gets his
he's got a
life
comeback
straight.
fight July
I know.
3rd.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. I mean, did that sell it more? Do you want to see it more now? Like, did it do anything for him?
I don't, and I think that's bullshit, man. I don't do coke. I've never done heroin. I've never done meth. No one's forcing me to do it.
You just do energy drinks.
Now, listen. I get it. Addiction
You
is a problem.
are a Tiger Life junkie.
So much.
I get it. Addiction is a problem, and it hurts a lot of families and it hurts a lot of people. But it starts with saying yes or saying no. And if you want to put that, and that's what you want to do, that's fine. But there's other people that rely on you if you're if you're doing things for a job. And
what
I
I'm
think
saying though, but what I hear what you're saying.
Has a
What
time
I'm
and a
saying
place,
is
and it was the wrong
there
time,
is,
wrong place.
But
for
I
that.
feel bad for his legacy being tarnished. That's what I mean. I just hope he gets his life in order.
Yeah,
and
but
so
I
he
mean,
can contribute.
It's not like the first time this happened.
I know.
We saw him running around in fishnets.
So I don't have any. I don't have any sympathy
But this is
for
live
the man.
TV,
Sorry.
and he's sitting
Not
there,
sorry.
and I felt I felt bad for the fans that were watching. Although, I mean, is it weird that Trainwreck slightly entertained me? As I felt bad, I was like, oh, what's going to happen next? Is that what they're going for here?
No, look, I'll be honest. I thought Dana White was being harsh on him by calling him all those names, and he pegged it. He pegged it. He nailed it.
So a lot of other good stuff coming out of Triller. I mean, for one, you're looking at Rob. Well, not good. I should say what you think it is. You're kind of in the middle with it.
So and I'm being very, very critical. I put my money out there. I was looking for a product that I wasn't sure what I was getting. Again, I wasn't a fan of the production. I wasn't a fan of everything that was rolling out. The fights, I thought, the Steve Cunningham was amazing. I think the other fight where the gentleman lost on the stretcher, he got taken out on the stretcher, was strange.
Yeah, but Regis Porteous looked really, really good in that fight.
He did, absolutely.
He made him do that because he didn't want to be in there
Absolutely,
anymore.
he quit.
And then there was a lot of fights on the undercard that I heard were really, really good. And look, say what you want to say or not, but I mean, I don't think even professional boxer, I'm not saying that Jake Paul should be in there with the best professional boxer. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying if he hits a lot of these professional boxers with that beautiful right hand, who knows what's going to happen?
And the crazy thing is, I have not one critical negative thing to say. If I will say it, I think Jake Paul is a contender. I think he can get into the ring with some boxers. I think he can get in a ring with some MMA guys and give them
hold
a
on,
run for their money.
hold up, Rob. Hold up. He's a contender or a prospect?
He's a contender, man. He's training with Garcia. He has the money to fly in and train with the best of the best. So that's going to automatically catapult you. Now, we spoke before about experience, which he doesn't have. But if you're putting in 12 to 14 hours and you have the camp, you have the resources, I mean, the sky's the limit. He's young. So if he gets injured, he can bounce back a lot faster than these older guys.
How old is he?
24, maybe under 25.
So here's
Maybe
the thing.
22.
I was in Florida doing interviews for BKFC, and I was talking to different fighters. Hector Lombard, talking to him, he was saying to me that Jake Paul, he's no joke. Hector's been on Jake Paul's side. He said Jake Paul hits hard. He's like, I don't know if he's worked out with him or something, but he said the guy hits hard, and people were discounting what he's about. And my other thing about the show was Ben Askren, I think I said this last week, he is an MMA guy. He's not a striker. And I think Hector was saying to me, he's like, I don't think he's ever been really thrown a punch, been punched in the face that much. And he's like, he's not ready for it. I said that going in. Everybody was so, oh my gosh, I can't believe Ben Askren lost. We have a guy on the team here that kept saying that on text message.
What was Ben's?
Of course he was going to lose.
Well, Ben's record in MMA and UFC, what was it, like 19-1 or 18-1?
19.
Regardless,
yeah, but
that's the
did you
thing.
see though the one interview on to that point, Brian? They actually asked him, how many times you actually really got hit hard? And he said, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 times in my life.
Dude, he survived some ground and pound by Robbie Lawler.
See, I was talking.
Dude, Robbie Lawler's no joke, Brian.
I was talking to Hector about that, and I made that comment to him, and Hector's like, they weren't even like really good punches. Hector, he's a tough guy too. It's interesting to me also that you guys are talking about records and stuff. I want to take it out of the fight game for a minute and talk about business. If you're Jake Paul, and your manager puts you up against somebody you lose against, that manager should be fired because he's building now. He's building to that big fight. He put in there with a little bit of doubt, but you knew he was going to win. How's the guy not going? It's not a challenge for Jake Paul. That's my thought. I could be wrong. That's just how I think.
You're 100%. But look, let's just go to what he built with the YouTube. So the guy, everything he does diligently.
Yeah, I agree.
He wants to be the best at.
Super smart.
So there was no reason to doubt that he wasn't going to train his ass off and try to fight the best that he could fight. Look, he's not the best fighter in the world, but he's got 3 fights ever. So let's see what he looks like with 10 fights, 12 fights. Maybe he does turn into something special. Who knows? But whatever he does with all of his ability and, puts his whole heart and everything into it. So, kudos to Jake Paul, man. I mean, look, I wish I had that kind of money at his age, to be honest with you.
Don't we
all?
I wish I was his age
he's
again.
doing a hell of a thing.
and listen, I'm not gonna knock the guy for having money. I think he's put in his time. He's learned his craft, him and his brother. And, they're entrepreneurs. I take my hat off to anyone that's successful, anyone that's on the grind. If they make millions or trillions, phenomenal. That's awesome.
I agree. So we've been talking about this because it's a very big topic in combat sports.
Lindsay Lohan's dad.
Michael Lohan's hitting you up. We have a lot to talk about and to get to today. And coming up, we're going to talk about the 3 new recent signings of the BKFC Women's Division. I'm very excited to hear who they are. I have no clue. Excuse me. I'm drinking Tiger Life. That's why I'm burping as I'm talking to you. But right now, speaking of Tiger Life, let's go to a Tiger Life commercial. We'll come back and we'll get back to the 3 signings we're going to intro for the new people, the new women that are coming to BKFC.
Can someone bring me in a Tiger Life?
Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship makes its Alabama debut Friday, April 30th. Watch as knockout artists Josh the Hammer Burns and Dylan Bad Boy Kleckler knuckle up in a heavyweight title eliminator. And BKFC vet Marcel Stamps prepares for war with the undefeated Marine Mike Richmond. Plus 8 more bare knuckle fights. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship 17, Friday, April 30th, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, only on the Bare Knuckle TV app. Download it now at bkfc.com.
We're live. We're back. Do I seem upset to you? Off screen, they're telling me I seem upset. Why do I seem upset?
I'm not getting
Not upset, but almost like it's that time of month for you.
That's next week. My wife will tell you that. Actually, let's talk about that for a second. I do believe that all men do have that time of month. I do. You seem to have it all month. No, I
can't say that. I'm sitting this close.
That's why I'm not in arm's reach. That's why I can say that. No, I do believe that men do have that time of month. I really do. I mean, obviously not as bad as a woman does, but I get a little moody sometimes. Would you say that's fair to say?
Oh man, I get moody when I'm not eating. I get moody when
Well,
it's.
that's hangry, man. I mean, hangry. Look, I have a sign at the house what hangry is, how it describes it.
Does anybody else? Does anybody in the chat? Do you guys get that way, or is it just us, man? Let us know.
Man, fucking man.
Oh, that's gonna make him angry. Oh, he likes. He's laughing.
Man,
My
Mark
man.
Godbeer, my
man,
man.
Man. All right, let's talk about my woman. Let's talk about some women, some new signings. BKFC, this is exciting.
Man, this is awesome.
All three
My
women
man.
joining the women's flyweight division. Very excited about it. Do we have drum rolls available for this? I don't think Dave's ever had a drum roll. So let's do the first one. Who was it?
Well, the first one is she's actually a Russian bare knuckle fighter from a league called Top Dog over there in Russia. That's a really good up and coming league. Her name is Ekaterina Marakova. Ekaterina Marakova.
Yeah,
She's
Ekaterina
undefeated with 5 bare knuckle fights. She's 5-0 with 5 knockouts in bare knuckle, and she's going to be coming over, I believe, in the June or July fight. But she just got signed to an exclusive contract with bare knuckle fighting. That's our second fighter from that league, if you will, that we drafted. It's a great feeder league for us. They're doing some great things over there, and these guys really come to fight. Guys and girls really come to fight.
You're importing some murderers, man.
The second one
Hold on,
is...
that's a great signing, man. Congratulations on that signing. My thing is that, you know, for me as an announcer, I got to learn to say that name, and I'm really nervous. I'm really nervous about that.
I spaced it out because I couldn't mess it up.
Phonetically. But no, that's exciting, and you're right. The feeder league's
Ekaterina Marakova.
Say it one more time.
Ekaterina Marakova.
You say it.
Ekaterina Marakova.
Oh, Lord, now I'm
Say
nervous.
it.
Ekaterina Marakova. The more I'm with the mic.
Ekaterina Marakova, we're so excited to bring you over.
5-0, man.
You know, you're going to do your thing, and you know, look, these women in the women's division is heating up. And then after we make these 3 announcements, tomorrow we're dropping another big announcement.
We got
but
another
can't
female
drop that now.
fighter? Or
The
is it
bombs
big?
tomorrow.
What
The
kind of
big bombs
announcement?
tomorrow.
Yeah,
Another
the big
bomb
ones.
Oh,
tomorrow.
he won't tell us. You can't.
So the
you can't
next
hand-
one is
drum roll.
actually Persian. She's coming from Persia. She's a kickboxer at, get this record, 69 victories against 1 defeat. in
Wow.
Kickboxing. 20 years old. Do we have a picture of her? Can we throw that
And she's
picture
only
up or
20.
not?
She's had that many fights.
I mean, beautiful. Look at her.
Come on, man. You're going to get
Beautiful.
me in
20
trouble, man. Look at
Good.
this.
Keep on
20
that
years
shot.
old, 69
20?
and 1, and she's going to be making her bare knuckle debut with us. I'm so sorry, Naja. I'm going to say your last name wrong. Miljevencic.
Why can't it be
Naja
like
Miljevencic.
Naja Smith would be easier. I do
Anyway.
think.
Do we have
but-
stats on her? Is she a little bit
She's-
taller? or-
Guess how old she is? Did I
20.
just say it? 20. She's 20 years
20
old.
with 69
20
wins,
years
1
old.
loss. Go back. Can you put a picture up again on that shot? The other shot that we were just on. Other shot with the wide shot, please. Go to the wide shot, please. Nobody's listening to me. There we go. See, now I think that's actually a better look. Should we keep it like that for the rest of the, the rest of the
man.
show, or what? You've improved, Rob. You can take it down now. It's fine. I had to make my dumb joke.
So anyway,
The
look,
show
that's
came to a
number
halt.
2, and number 3.
Drum roll.
Number 3
We got number 3?
probably a lot more well-known name here in the United States. She's fought for Invicta. She's fought for the UFC, and she is now signed to an exclusive contract with Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. And her name is Pearl Gonzalez. Pearl Gonzalez will
welcome
be
to BKFC,
fighting
Pearl Gonzalez.
for
my gosh.
BKFC on the May 21st show. She's going to be making her debut with Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to BKFC, Pearl Gonzalez.
Look at those hands for bare knuckle. Those fists. She got a nice big fist, man. Seriously, and her arms are bigger than my arms and Rob's arms combined.
That is true, man.
I wouldn't mess with her.
Yeah. I would not like to see,
Have you seen her fight, David? I guess you have.
Do we have the picture that she sent over with the contract signed?
Did she sign the contract?
They're going to grab the picture. Well, I mean, what excites you the most about these 3 new females? I mean,
You know,
it's-
really just more competition right
More
now.
depth.
'Cause more depth in,
Yeah.
in the roster. And now, look, it's what we knew was going to happen. This thing's going to blow up internationally. And now we have a girl from Persia, a girl from Russia, a girl from Puerto Rico, and in the United States, Pearl
That's awesome.
Gonzalez. So 3 international, we'll call it 2.5 because she's been living in the United States for a long time.
does having these international women? Whoa!
Whoa!
That's what you're saying. I didn't know that was coming up.
Wait
She's
a
mooning
minute.
this. She's
Whoa,
mooning
what
this.
is
So
this?
that's her signed contract.
She signed a contract for? Is that? When do you see first? I don't even know.
She is honestly. I can't wait for this. not because of that picture, because of the she is
That
going
one
to.
kinda
Yeah,
looks
I'm
like-
not the only one getting in trouble,
because
Mr.
listen,
Married Man.
she is.
I can't wait for this
Her
one.
promotional ability is going to be out of this world. I predict that she's going to be the biggest women's star in bare knuckle fighting championship in the next 6 months.
Whoa.
Do you think that signing
Really?
these women from around the world is going to open gates to get to other places like a Russia, like a other to do events there?
100%. And what it's doing is getting eyeballs on the sport, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have TV deals in Russia, actually in 48 different countries right now. So we're actually in 49 countries worldwide right now. And in Russia, we're typically doing between 700,000 and 1.2 million live viewers per event in Russia for every one of our events. So we have a huge Russian contingent,
Fan
if
base
you will.
and, yeah.
So we're like-
Viewership,
over there
man, that's great.
is amazing. And now we have 2 fighters that are going to be fighting probably on the same card from that organization, and we're excited to have it. And then Naja, who is from Persia and has 70 professional fights. I mean, at 20
At 21.
years old, at 20 years
20.
old.
Wow.
She's amazing. She's been fighting, I think, since professionally since she's been 14. It's allowed over there, and it's amazing to see. Look, we like to proclaim that we have the baddest men and women on the planet that fight for us. Like I said, there's more skilled boxers and they can move around more. MMA fighters are kicking more and choking more and wrestling more and doing things that are great, all great stuff. But I believe these are the baddest men and women on the planet. And now we just added some more to the roster that's going to, give a lot more challenges to the current signees of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship.
You talk about depth. You were talking about depth earlier. We're deep as the deep blue sea. I mean, the heavyweight division getting deeper, the women's division getting deeper, and I know you have the new signings by the day. It seems like now I feel like we're always releasing new signings, so it's definitely
The
exciting.
signing
time.
tomorrow is Paige Van Zandt's next opponent.
Oh, so he did give us a hint.
All right, that's a
Hey,
little
why don't we do
teaser.
this? Let's do this, Rob. Speculate in the chat because I have no clue
Who our opponent
Who our
is?
opponent's going to be. Who do you think Paige Van Zandt's next opponent, who's going to be released tomorrow, is? Let us know in the chat. I'm excited to see what you think, so we can kind of talk about that. Thanks for dropping that little Easter egg on us there, like they used to DVDs, like Easter eggs. I'm really old.
Easter egg.
That's really old.
No. Easter eggs are still a
still
thing
do
in
it?
games.
It's
yeah,
past
in gaming.
Easter.
Yeah, but they call them Easter eggs, like in the
Like little
video
hidden
games.
tidbits.
Okay.
That's what us nerds who don't hang out with women. We play video games and we Rob and I
Respect.
respect these guys. No, that's going to be exciting tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to the Juggernaut coming up. Lorenzo Hunt.
Unstoppable.
That's right. That's unstoppable. I think is one of the most athletic fighters.
I think
pure
we got a
athletes
special
in
guest
BKFC.
coming in too, right? I'm going to leave, and I think you got somebody else who's going to sit in my chair later on.
I don't know. I know nothing. They don't give me a format here. That's what's so much
We're
fun about it.
formatless.
So we have Lorenzo Hunt coming up in a couple minutes. Before we get to Lorenzo Hunt, I believe this is where we're going to take a commercial break. My producers will tell me in the ear because I'm unprepared for everything. So let's get ready for Lorenzo Hunt, who's, by the way, facing Josh Dyer coming up. D-Day Dyer coming up on April 30th. BKFC.com, the BKTV app to watch that. It's going to be a great fight.
And this is taking myself out of my position and being a fan. I can't wait for this fight.
Dude, I've watched you. At the fights. You do become a fan to the point where when I'm done, I'm like, hey, Dave, what'd you think? And Dave's like, it was good. Like his voice is gone from yelling and stuff.
Yeah, I get so excited.
It is cool. It's cool. Well, you too, Rob. You're no different. I see you jumping up ringside. I thought you do a cartwheel last time.
I try to be as professional as possible on
can't
ringside.
sometimes.
Oh,
It's-
you're always
yeah.
getting knocked down, though, Brian.
I have not been knocked down. I've had, like 4 or 5 shows now. It's pretty good.
Well, to Brian's excuse, man, did you see last week when we were watching the Chris Sorrow, Josh Burns, and the ref just tossed Burns aside with one arm like it was nothing. So the amount of power these guys have, it's...
Well, Burns said he was off balance. So maybe we'll have Margliata versus Burns at some point here. Looking forward to that. But before we get to that, BKFC 17 coming up April 30th, BKFC.com to grab that app to make sure you can watch. You can watch Burns versus Kleckler, heavyweight title eliminator. Excited for that. And Lorenzo Hunt taking on Josh Dyer, the D-Day man. That's coming up in a couple minutes. We're going to talk to Lorenzo about that and some interesting stuff in his career. We'll do that right after this.
Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship makes its Alabama debut Friday, April 30th. Watch as knockout artists Josh the Hammer Burns and Dylan Bad Boy Kleckler knuckle up in a heavyweight title eliminator. And BKFC vet Marcel Stamps prepares for war with the undefeated Marine Mike Richmond. Plus 8 more bare knuckle fights. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship 17, Friday, April 30th, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, only on the Bare Knuckle TV app. Download it now at BKFC.com.
Welcome to the world of Bare Knuckle TV. Watch every live Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship pay-per-view event for only $3.99 per month. Enjoy our all-new library of content, including unlimited access to the full archive of BKFC pay-per-views, behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live bare-knuckle fights from around the globe. You can access it anywhere you want, anytime you want, instantly on most streaming devices. It's available right now on the Bare Knuckle TV app. Over 1,000 hours of on-demand content, uncut and uncensored. All here, anytime you want, anywhere you want, for only $3.99 a month. Subscribe now exclusively at BKTVApp.com.
Yeah.
What's going on? Brian Sosha back here with my main man Rob, and we're excited that Lorenzo Hunt, the Juggernaut, this guy, there's so much to talk about, to unpack with him. Excited that he's here with us. Juggernaut, how you feeling, my man? You there?
Yes, sir. I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I like your shades. Look, you look all cool. He's got those bare knuckle apparel on. Where are you driving to?
Yeah, I put it all together. My little BMW, I just pulled up. I'm parking.
Did you drop that? My little BMW. I'm in style. Yeah, I'm all good. Where'd you pull up to?
I'm home.
Oh, you're home. Okay. So look, there's a lot we want to talk about with you. We're going to talk about your opponent, Josh Dyer, coming up. But before we get into that, I want to talk. Rob and I are big fans of your social media. You're pushing cars, you're lifting cars, you're racing cars on foot. You're doing crazy like handstands from your chest up. You're an amazing athlete. Bottom line. Where does this come from? I mean, can you talk about pushing the car? That wasn't fake. That was real.
Oh yeah. So I just was helping somebody. I pulled up to the job. And the lady, she pulled in, and I guess, I don't know if she didn't put it in park or she just skipped over the curve and she got stuck. So I'm sitting in the car. I usually get there a little early so I can take a little nap before I get in there and run around like a crazy person. And she's looking around like, who's going to help me? So I'm trying to figure it out. So of course, if I get in trouble, I call my dad. I'm like, Dad, what should I do? You know, nothing's working. And he's laughing. He jokingly says, well, just pick it up.
Jokingly, huh?
So I started trying to bump it. We bumped it a little bit. We tried to jack it up, tried to put some wood under the tire and stuff. But it basically just came down to the right type of push and the right type of, catch it. Of course, she helped me a little, but I got it over the curve for her. So it looked really, really good, but I don't think I could have done it without help.
Oh, don't discredit yourself. I don't believe that for a second. I saw you racing a car that was going pretty fast. You were on foot and you pretty much beat that car.
Yeah, that's my sister. So my family, they're really enthusiastic about me, and they try to help me where they can. It's not like when you were a kid, you could get guys to foot race you and stuff. So my brother-in-law, I say, you want to race? He said, I'll race you with the car.
So
and there you go. And then my sister's like, I'll record it. So it's just, everybody knows me. They know I'm kind of a show off. I did a video before when I was a kid. We kind of moved around a lot. So it was hard to make friends. So I was a show off. I would just, make friends by showing out. I could do little shit, little tricks and stuff that nobody else could do. So I just always been that way, walking on my hands, backflipping, kind of class clown kind of thing.
Oh, we love it. We do more of that, man. We love sharing that in our stories. We love when fighters do that kind of stuff. And you were talking about your family. And from what I remember speaking to you one time, there's some pretty stiff competition in your family. And I know you said like family barbecues, you were telling me and stuff. And you guys kind of get into talk about who you're with. Hold on.
They call me the Juggernaut, but actually I'm the run of the family. I'm like the small guy,
What kind of family is this?
They're huge, athletic guys. My cousin Kareem Hunt plays for the NFL. Wow. My cousin Daryl Brown used to play college football. He was killing them. He was a truck. And his father Kareem Hunt, he played semi-pro football for years and years and years. I got some 7-footers in my family that played basketball. It just goes around and around. When we play a pickup game at a family reunion, it's all alley-oops and dunks and crossovers. It's not for the faint of heart.
Everyone's trying to upshow each other, show off. I love that.
Yeah, everybody say they showed up to win.
Did you say one of your cousins plays for the NFL? Who's that?
Yeah, Kareem Hunt plays for the Browns. Yeah. He's one of the best running backs in the league right now. We're proud of him. He's kicking butt. He played for Kansas City Chiefs first. he tore it up there, and then he wound up going to the Browns, and he's tearing it up there. So everywhere he goes, he's definitely one of the best.
So athleticism obviously runs in your family, and I would guess that he's probably a fan. He watches your fights, and I know that everyone else is excited to see your fights.
He's a big fan. He loves it. He hits me up from time to time, and he shoots me a thumbs up. He's a super busy guy, but he does watch and he does follow.
I dig that, man. Now, you've said this to me before, there's no fighter like you. Athletically, there's no fighter out there that you've seen like you. You trumpet this as well you should. You're an amazing athlete. Tell me more thoughts on that. Why do you say that no fighter like you? I mean, that's a pretty bold statement.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but, size and weight, I'm pretty sure I have the biggest head in the BKFC. Besides maybe the main event, Josh. Like, and he's got to be like 280, right?
Yeah.
I think our heads are like the same size. So they talk about all the different muscles, and everybody wants bigger arms and bigger legs and bigger chest. But what about the brain? Nobody wants a bigger brain. I think I'm smarter than these guys, plain and simple. I hate to say it like that. I'm not arrogant or anything, but I think I'm smarter. Guys are fighting with their face. Who wants to fight with their face? That's stupid. I fight with my fists. But, I mean, to each his own, there's all different kind of fighters. I like to use my brain.
Lorenzo, take your shades off for 1 second. I want to show over your face. Does that look like, would you know that he fought? You must not get hit often.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, I'm the pretty boy of the BKFC.
So we know
and
that.
I just about fought the most. I think I got about, 5 or 6 total fights in with you guys. And yeah, it's an art. It's an art that people will grow to appreciate because don't get me wrong, the guy Joe Elmore and those guys that bang it out and get beat the hell out of, they put it all on the line. It's a great show, but you won't be doing it long.
No.
So it comes a time when you're gonna have to figure out, how can you do this and come back and do it again? I fought near every other month on the BKFC cards this year. From February through COVID. I fought September. I fought in November. I fought in February. I fought in. Come on, man. You can't do that if you're beat up and you're breaking your hands and you got concussions. You just can't do that. So I'm one of a kind.
You're very active.
I might be the smartest fighter in the BKFC.
No, I think so too. And if I can remember correctly, watching one of your bouts, I almost felt like you were almost, I don't know how you even do it, like catching the punches with your hand before they hit you. You're like Superman.
Yeah. I'm at home in the ring, and I'm a coach. I'm an awesome coach. As a matter of fact, I am the first. I'm the first bare knuckle head coach at the first bare knuckle training facility in Tampa, Florida, with Kevin Smith. So we are definitely doing big things, and it's because I'm so comfortable, because I'm so intelligent in the ring. I can see what these guys are going to do before they do it. I know what they're thinking. So yeah, I can touch your punch. I've done it before. I'll do it again. I'll grab that shit, like, get it out of here, because I know your target. You want to hit this big ass head, but you can't.
How frustrating is that? They want to hit the big head, but they can't.
But you can't.
So
you can't hit it.
You're not even, like you said, this is just, it's not arrogance for you, it's confidence, and some people confuse that. I love the confidence you bring when you even walk toward the ring. I mean, you usually have 2 females dancing with you, your ring entrance. You always have these cool robes. We're seeing a little bit of the ring entrance now. Look at this. And look, he's just coming down. It looks like you're going to a party to have a good time. You're always relaxed, but intense in some strange way.
And believe it or not, I am. That's exactly the mind frame and the mental fortuity that I bring into the cage with me. I already did the hard work. The hard work is done. I've done it. I've kicked my own butt every single day, all year. The fight is just a quick 10-minute opportunity to showcase the world what I've been working on every single day. I don't know if you notice, I don't even take no days off. If you guys tune in, watch my live streams, and you watch my stuff, I work out and I train 7 days a week.
Well, you enjoy it. You
Every
can tell.
single day.
You enjoy it. You can tell. We were just seeing some footage of you that you probably didn't see from some of your fights, some of your amazing knockouts. And Rob was sitting here. His jaw was hitting the floor as we were watching. There's something you'd like to add, Rob?
Yeah, so your work ethic is second to none. 4-1, 4 knockouts. Your intensity is through the roof. Just reading through some of the comments, reading through some of the feedback from fans, it seems you're pretty polarizing. Polarizing to a point where some people are angry of how you act after your knockouts or after some of your wins. Can you kind of, touch on that, explore that a little bit? How are you feeling? Is that the showman? Is that being, is that flaunting in your opponent's face, or is that just an emotional, roller coaster that you're going through?
I am 100% genuine. Everything that you see out there is me. I'll give you an example. The little gorilla thing that I did at the end after knocking out my Rob Morrow, that's how I chase my kids around the house. I'm really, really good at it because I do it a lot. So I mean, to the fans, hey, you guys, I love you. But honestly, there are some fans that watch just to see disaster. And I'm sorry. I'm like a chainsaw juggler. I know people came to see me chop my hand off. But if I chop my hand off, I can't juggle chainsaws anymore. So it's going to be hard to please the fans that want to see a car crash, the NASCAR fans that just came to see a crash.
Sure.
I know, it's going to be amazing. Like I tell people all the time, I used to do gymnastics and stuff like that. When I jump in the air, there's a moment where everybody holds their breath. Half the crowd want to see me land on my head. The other half of the crowd want to see me land it clean.
That is
I'm going to please the people who want to see me land it clean. Because I don't want to land on my head to please the people who want to see disaster.
Of course, and I would argue people that are in it for a train wreck and they want to see those crazy bangers. When they watch you fight, this is how I feel about you. When they watch you fight,
exactly what they want.
They don't even know you're giving them what they want. They don't even know it until they see you. Like, this guy's good. That's the perception I get with you. Yep. And I also love the fact you're talking about being polarizing. By the way, my mother-in-law can't stand you. She thinks you're arrogant. I've told you that off the air before. But
I'm totally not.
I know you're not. I tell her.
People who love me, I am the most giving, most caring person. I'll stop and help anybody. I am like seriously like the chillest guy.
Lorenzo, I want to talk about that. Before you say all that, I mean, the proof's in the pudding, as they say. The last show, you were backstage doing some broadcast journalism work, which I hated because, quite frankly, I don't want you to take my job, and you're very good at it. But I noticed that afterwards, we were able to be in the squared circle together when we went off the air, and the beautiful airbrushed robe. What is airbrushed on the back of your robe? Can you share that with us?
Oh, that was the Eric Lozano knockout. So every time I get a knockout, I'm gonna have a airbrush robe, and then we're gonna raffle it off for charity. So
that's awesome.
Everybody liked the robe so much that I decided to sign it and give it away. And we gave it away for the for the Autism Foundation. And we're gonna do multiple sclerosis. We're gonna do something for the vets. We're really doing big things, and I'm gonna continue to bring the charity aspect, and I'm gonna give people a whole different outlook on the BKFC and on the BKFC fighters in general, because we're not just fighters, we're fathers. Some of us are firemen, some of us are coaches, some of us are baseball coaches. We're good guys, It's not just like a barroom brawl.
But there's only one Juggernaut. All these things, there's only one Juggernaut. We know that.
Actually, there's two now.
Oh, there is two. There is two. But we're talking to the OG, the original Juggernaut here, as far as in BKFC. And you're going to face Josh Dyer coming up April 30th, BKFC.com to see that fight. So what do you know about D-Day?
Josh is a big, strong kid. He comes from a humble background. He's solid. He's a showman. He's everything that the people want to see. And with this particular fight, I just feel like he drew the short straw. Our styles and the type of fighting that we're doing is totally opposite one another. And no
I think we lost Lorenzo Hunt. I was so excited to hear what he was going to say there. I mean, I could finish it up for him. Our styles are totally different, but I'm Lorenzo Hunt. I'm the Juggernaut. I'm going to catch his punches and knock him out, stand over him, and tell him I did it. Maybe that's what he's going to say.
I wanted to ask him, how do you flip the switch? Like going from, obviously he's a great guy. He does a lot of great things for the community. He's a father. How do you flip the switch between a caregiver, a coach, a mentor, to someone like, I'm going to rip this dude's head off across the ring from there?
That's a great question. That's a great question because it's funny you brought that up. I always ask that to Joe Elmore or Leonard Garcia because these guys are killers in the ring.
Yeah.
I'm not answering this for Lorenzo, but to my estimation, the guy, like we said, he's not cocky, he's convinced. He's not full of arrogance, he's full of confidence in his mind. So when a guy walks around like that, you mentioned he was going to be polarizing. Of course he is, because people don't like you being better than them. And he'll tell you he's better than you in a nice enough way, but then he'll show you. So he proves that he's better. He's way better than me. He's way better than you. Let's be honest. This guy could probably crush us in any athletic competition and most others. He was talking to me one time off the about this quick twitch muscles and how he has these quick twitch muscles and how that helps him as well. I can't say muscles. Anyway, it was awesome having Lorenzo the Juggernaut Hunt on. I'm excited to see him fight against Josh Dyer. It's April 30th. BKFC.com to grab the app because you're not going to miss it. On top, you have Kleckler versus Burns, a heavyweight title eliminator, and that's going to I mean, you're going to see that.
Fireworks right there, plus 8 additional bouts, man.
8 additional bouts. So also, I also want to remind everybody that this podcast is available. If you just want to listen to the audio version, you can do that on Spotify. And I have that here. It's the BKFC show. Just search that. And then also, more than that, that's exciting. It's on Spotify, anywhere you listen to podcasts if you don't have time to finish this.
I'm just going to go ahead and stretch and... Oh.
Look at that. The new merch. The new merch. Look at that. Rob on screen wearing the shirt. Look at him. Oh, is that Rob? There's Rob. Look at you, Rob. You look different in photo.
I wish, man.
Did
that
they Photoshop
was me like
that?
20 years ago.
So I love it. You got the crimson tide on there. I guess that's the color we're going for here. And you have
limited edition, man. Once we're going, we're going. We're not doing another run of this, Brian.
I'm kind of pissed off though because you walk in wearing one. I didn't even know this was happening. Again, nobody gives me one. I get a can of Tiger Lift. That's what I'm happy about.
That's your consolation prize.
But let's also, aside from he's got his BKFC shirt on there in the production. There's the Lord Evan Zentar in production. And listen, the other thing I want to talk about since we lost Lorenzo, this is important. I'm just going to lay it up on the table.
Okay.
We're going to talk about it. We talked about this last week.
Back.
Here it is. I'm afraid to even touch it. This is up for grabs. Who wants one of these? Let's get it in frame here.
Yeah, man.
Who wants one of these?
You can't
PS5,
find this
baby.
in stores. Go ahead and find this right now. You're going to be paying close to $1,000. And we're giving this away. We're giving away a Samsung 50-inch TV, a bunch of memberships, some swag bags, some really cool stuff. Real easy to grab.
In the
just
chat,
sign up.
in the chat, I want to know the shot we were just on with Rob there. Do you like the PS5 better on the show or Rob? Because they're going to say the PS5. I mean, they would say it about me. They'd say it about
PS5 looks better.
I think it does too. It's sleek. It's nice. You can win that. We're going to be putting in the chat the giveaway. Let me pull this down. PS5 up for grabs. There's also like a TV up for grabs.
50-inch Samsung, man.
And then free pay-per-views from BKFC.
Pay-per-view, swag bags, a lot of good stuff.
This is
awesome.
awesome.
A lot of prizes.
I get excited when we do this. Again, it's on the screen. It's in the chat. Make sure you register. Now, can they only register once or as many times as they want?
They can only register once. It's per email per person, and then they're going to do an auto selector.
You're going to see all these random people. Like it's going to be like,
Hogan.
I am guy number 1 at yahoo.com. I am guy number 2 at yahoo.com. You're going to see all these fake emails. There it is. That's everything. You can win the ultimate fan giveaway. We had Big Ben from Delaware won the trip last time.
Yeah.
So we decided it went so well. People liked it. We would do it again. Make sure you get in for the Unreal fan giveaway. Unreal Mobile BKFC 17.
Back in around the holiday season, we gave away like $10,000+. We gave away Xboxes, PlayStation, Switches.
So that's why I'm not getting my raise because of you guys. We can't get our raises because we're buying all this stuff to give to you. But it's cool. We're in it for the fans.
We love it, man. I mean, the fans are awesome. They're engaging with the product. And
I'm still like a Sonic the Hedgehog or Bonk's Adventure guy. I'm old school. Yeah, Duck Hunt. Me, where they did that stupid noise. So it was exciting to have Lorenzo Hunt on. What a great day. I know there's a major announcement coming tomorrow. Very excited about that. We heard it from, I don't want to call him a horse, but the horse's mouth, David Feldman, the president. A big announcement tomorrow coming out. It's going to be Paige Van Zant's opponent. I wish notice how he threw it out there and left the building? Like we have no clue.
He dropped 3 other fighters who could have easily challenged her and gave, from their records alone would be phenomenal matches to, wow, who is going to be her opponent? This is going to be
We're going to find out tomorrow, Rob. We're going to find out a lot of stuff as we go on with BKFC because that's what we do. We try to be very transparent and let you know. And I always say, if you don't hear it on the BKFC show or from one of our socials, a lot of people reporting on us, and we do appreciate you. Thank you. But you don't always get the facts straight, and then people start talking. So you have to come here to get these announcements. And you can support everybody, but come here to get these announcements because they're official from us, and then we go from there. I mean, I think today was a heck of a show. But I know are we going to do the knockout of the week? You want to do that? All right, let's do. I almost forgot knockout of the week.
We're gonna hit the commercials.
Yes, we're gonna head to commercials. Come back with the KO of the week. Boom.
Championship makes its Alabama debut Friday, April 30th. Watch as knockout artists Josh the Hammer Burns and Dylan Bad Boy Kleckler knuckle up in a heavyweight title eliminator. And BKFC vet Marcel Stamps prepares for war with the undefeated Marine Mike Richmond, plus 8 more bare knuckle fights. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship 17, Friday, April 30th, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, only on the Bare Knuckle TV app. Download it now at BKFC.com.
We're back with Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. My voice hurts when I do those voiceovers. You know, I try to act tough, and I'm not. But, hey, it's fun. We're here with Rob. We've been having a great time today.
buddy?
A lot of major announcements coming out today. You can go back if you're just tuning in. You can also tune in, by the way, on Spotify at the BKFC show. We're available in just podcast form as well. Thank you for being here. But now, I love this part. It's where, let's both do it together this week. I always do it. The knockout of the week. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Boom. It gives me so much power. He's turning his... All right, so knockout of the week. This is exciting. A lot of great knockouts we have to look through. Now, the one I picked, before we get to it, I want to tell you why I picked it. Josh Burns taking on Dylan Kleckler coming up April 30th, BKFC.com to grab the app and watch it. Heavyweight title eliminator. Last week, we looked at a knockout from Kleckler. It was a great knockout. And we also spoke to Josh Burns last week, and Josh Burns kind of shed some light on the Chris Sorrow thing, what was going on with that, why it was so intense. And what we did was we took his audio from last week's interview, and I think you can look at the ending of the fight, his knockout, a little differently with his audio on it. So let's just throw it to the knockout of the week. This is Josh Burns from last week talking about the issues with Chris Sorrow and how that knockout was so sweet for him. Let's take a look at that.
He decided to take it outside the realm of fighting with myself and family, and it just was the wrong move. Like Coleman says, keep it cool and professional and calm. And fight night, we'll let our hands do the talking. You know, I mean, he told me he was going to knock me the fuck out in the back room, and I heard it, but I acted like I didn't hear it. I think he's just Chris Sorrow. I think he's used to being like the bully, like tough guy, and you know, I think it's kind of surreal the fact that, you know, he lost the way he did. I'm still professional, and I wish Chris nothing but success, because I'll be pompous when I say this, but if Chris wins, it makes me look good. If Chris loses, it takes away from my victory with him.
That makes sense.
I want him to be a killer. It's pure business.
And that was a good piece of business for Josh Burns right there. It really was. I mean, I remember when I saw it, you felt that intensity. It was good that Josh shed a little light on that last week. We enjoy that kind of stuff to find out what's going on, what their mentality is. And if you want to check out that interview, we have that up in the whole show from last week on YouTube, and like I said, on Spotify, the BKFC show. But that was pretty intense, especially after we heard the story from Josh.
Yeah, that was pretty intense. Speaking of intense, I think we'll get into my knockout of the week, which is, wow, talk about bizarre, man. Jeremy Stevens knocking out his opponent before they even fight at weigh-ins. I mean, so...
How's that happen? Come on.
I have no idea. I'm not sure what went through that dude's head. I don't know, man. He's like 0-4 in his past 5 bouts with 1 no contest. You know, at weigh-ins, his opponent's hands were behind his back, dude. And some people were like, you know, this guy's just quitting before the fight. That dude, I mean, the shoving in itself. He said he put up. I think he put up a note that his hands went numb. He felt like, you know.
Well, yeah, they said that, but maybe I'm talking out of turn here. But you know, didn't the guy get examined and he was concussed as well from the push?
So that story evolved. He had a concussion. I got a slight whiplash. What an idiot, man! Why would you do that? The guy's hands are behind the back. I get trying to sell the fight. But like, that's like pushing someone from behind and they're not expecting. What do you expect? What did you think was going to happen, man?
Now, what came out of that, Rob? I know that. I mean, my initial thought was this guy did nothing wrong. I'm sorry. This guy did nothing wrong, and he's probably going to lose his purse over this because the fight's not going to happen. So did both guys lose their purses? Were there fines? What happened out of that?
All right, so from my understanding, Jeremy did not get a purse. Drakkar,
That's not right.
yeah, Drakkar did get his purse,
that's
though.
right.
Yes,
Okay.
that is right. So Jeremy Stevens caused it to be a no contest.
Yeah,
I believe it's going to be considered a no contest, or I don't know. I'm
Jeremy
not
shouldn't
sure.
get his purse, right?
No, as far as it stands right now, he received nothing.
Good.
Again, the guy's coming off of 4 losses, 1 no contest in his last 5 bouts.
Was that his way to make waves? Maybe he thought, like, get some publicity on himself.
I think he was scared
publicity.
and tried to implement some kind of a strategy that just backfired. I mean, his last strategy, he became the meme of the century when he went in on Conor McGregor, and
what does the
rest is history.
conversation between him and Dana sound like after that? Do you think?
If I was Dana,
Yeah.
what the fuck were you thinking, kid?
Yeah, right.
Like,
You're
why
not
would
welcome
you
back,
do
kid.
that?
Right?
Yeah, like I mean that would have been I think a very good bout that was just canceled, and I don't know, man. What a
The fans got
disaster.
let down off that, and,
Yeah.
and that's a shame. He was probably trying to hype it up for the fans, got a little bit out of control, but good for them. You don't deserve a purse for
at
doing
all, man.
something like that. And I'm glad the other guy got paid
punk
because
shit, man.
it's not right. The other guy's going into this fight and he's saying, "Oh, I'm going to feed my family this way," and then he just loses it because he gets pushed. He's an innocent bystander, ready for a fight, trying to be professional. So the fans are the ones that got robbed on that one.
Yeah, and
is
I
my
get it. And this last thing on it, I get it. You want to hype it up a little bit, or even your anxiety or your anger or whatever, you want to get your opponent out of your face, but he just took it overboard, and the result.
Agreed. We lost a fight, and the guy got a concussion. And in today's injury world with concussions, that's a no-no. Speaking of fans getting robbed, we don't rob the fans here at BKFC. We do our best to make sure you're happy. We love that you hang out with us. So we'd like to look at the fans KO of the week. And I think that we finally figured out the password. I couldn't figure it out, whatever I broke last week. So now we do have fans knockout of the
Awesome.
week.
There we
Let's see
go.
what it's from. We're going to throw it up on screen. This would have been, here we go, the fake low blow the fake low blow
Yeah, man.
at Triller.
We talked about this earlier. So this was a great fight. My man was running away with the bout, and then all of a sudden he catches a body shot. I think it was a little low to the hip, wide, excuse me. Catches a body shot, goes down, and the ref initially thought it was a low blow. It turned out
Who's
wasn't.
the ref, Stevie Wonder?
Yeah.
Like, come
so
on.
I'll give the ref the benefit of the doubt. He had a
Yes.
really, really bad angle on it.
Okay.
But he goes down holding his crotch, and the commentator is like, he might want to rewatch the video. Wasn't even close. Gets carried out on a stretcher.
I don't do the stretcher job. It's like one of those soccer guys when they get hurt, they're all,
Yeah, my man flopped. That was a definite flop. But
Maybe he's got a career in pro wrestling, man. He worked it out well. He's,
maybe, maybe boxing's just not in his future any longer.
Do you think that guy comes back? Is he going to box again? I mean, are people going to take him seriously after that?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that shot hurt him, and he went down. But I mean, why grab and say that was a low blow and continue with the the theatrics? That's just absurd.
Theatrics, good word. By the way, if you want to send your email in, you can, info@bareknuckle.tv. We love to hear your knockouts of the week and take a look at them and comment on them a little bit. So we'd appreciate you. Keep sending the email in. I won't mess up the passwords or anything anymore, and I promise we'll have you on every week if you send great knockouts of the weekend. Awesome. We appreciate you being here today. Rob, I think that's going to wrap it up for us.
Yeah,
So
I think so,
I'm
man.
going to grab my Tiger Life. I'm going to thank all of you for being here and helping us support what we love to do. And Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, we're in this together, and I love it. It's like a big family.
Thank you, Brian.
I get the playoff music like you do in the Grammys. So I'm going to shut up. I'm going to toast the Tiger. Thank you, Rob. Cheers to you, and we'll see you next week when we
care, guys.
knuckle up.